Hello and welcome to everybody who's listening to this promo video. My name is Dawn Campbell, one of the directors at the International Authority for Professional Coaching and Mentoring, otherwise affectionately known as the IAPC&M. And today I'm joined with the dynamic and lovely Hulya Kirk, who writes like her hair is on fire, I have to say. Hello, Hulya.
Hello, Dawn. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're very welcome. So let me introduce you properly. Not only are you an accredited senior coach, an accredited senior mentor, you're properly trained, you're insured, you've gone and written a book. Now, I have to say, you were one of our best students on the course that Ruby and I wrote, which was how to write and, more importantly, finish your book. And you, like one or two of the others, wrote like your hair was on fire. You got your books done, and I know you were on a European book signing tour, but you've created it into a program which is now a client-facing signature program, and you've invested heavily in this and got it accredited as well. Why was that important to you, Hulya?
Because there's a lot of workshops out there, right? And if you don't have any governance around this, I think it's very important for my reputation, for my credibility and visibility to have these kind of programs which are touching the soul, the body, the mind of a professional, of a human, accredited by an authority like IAPC&M, because I'm so proud to be accredited by IAPC&M and what you offer as well for all our members.
Oh, thank you. Well, we're very proud to have your caliber of coach and mentor in our team. So if I was coming to you and I wanted some help, I mean, it says career on here. Is that your niche? If I was only wanting career, is that the only type of coaching client you want, Hulya?
Not necessarily, but here you can see I'm coming from a solid corporate background. And I know how professionals do struggle and can't get out of this wonderful, I call the hamster wheel, like my book says, right? And I did lots of interviews as well. And that's my finding. And I want to help them because I know how to get out. I call myself from zero to hero. I went through everything. I don't even have any university PhD, bachelor degree or whatever, but I started really from the ground level and worked my life up, like we can see the man climbing on the ladder step by step. I know the hierarchies, the diplomacy, how you need to position yourself, and I wanted to put this into a workbook that people can use and advance, because it's sad if you don't advance. It's sad if you can't make your decision. And in my book, I really iterate as well a lot about questioning yourself, about, do you want to stay in the same organization? What do you want to do? Do you want to change maybe only the industry? Or is it only the job title? Or is it the department? Because you don't need to have necessarily change everything. Maybe it's this little touch, this little nudge, the additional responsibility that you need. And hence, I give you all the tools, the mindset questions as well, and reflections to take that step forward. Because to take that step forward, it really begins with your mind, with your decision, and making, this bothers me now, I want to move ahead.
Yeah, take some action. So you've obviously been through it, as we say, climbing the greasy ladder. And I'm guessing it's also about the sort of the golden handcuffs. You feel that you've got to stay in that job because you're paid so much that you're kind of trapped on that hamster wheel. You address all of those, do you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think, why should I change? And I address this all in the book. You know, it's all these conversations. You mentioned to your friends, oh, you know what? I'm not really happy at the job that I'm doing. And then people would say, why? I mean, you know what? You get good money and it's a great company. It's a multinational one. Everyone wants to work for that company. Yes, but you feel like a bird in a golden cage. And unfortunately, you will even get sad, more sad, and you will not have that ambition anymore to jump on Monday morning out of bed. It will become a torture. That's fact. So why would you do that to yourself? Life is precious. You only live once. And you know what? Let's face it, we spend more time at work than at home. So why not do we look for enjoyment at work? Do something that we like. even a bit more. It doesn't need to be 100%. We don't have perfectionism as such, right? There is always something which is lacking. Fine. If you can live with it, absolutely okay. But if it's really bothering you and you feel like stressed, etc., you know what? Think about what you can do to make your life better at work.
So you avoid that burnout syndrome as well.
Yes, absolutely. That comes from there. If you don't happy, you're stressed all the time. Maybe it's a toxic environment as well where you're working. There's a lot of them, or you don't like your manager. I did lots of interviews, and you know what? To 80% of the people that are interviewed, and I can say it's about 100 more or less, 80% were saying it's toxic environment. I don't like my manager. That's it. That's another call out for leaders, for managers, to have definitely coaching skills, right?
Yeah.
That's important. That's necessity at the moment, especially with the young generation.
Yeah, definitely. That's really interesting because my background was in HR and recruitment. And I know that people didn't go to work for the money per se. That was a given. You know, everybody has to pay their mortgage, etc. The number one reason why people went to work was the sociability and the sense of appreciation and being of service, being part of a community. So if people, 80% aren't happy at work, I mean, that is a massive coaching opportunity for leaders to get things right, to improve productivity. But that's, you know, a massive part of the workforce that are not happy, that you've then got to either, when they move on, you've got to retrain, which makes it very expensive. And, you know, that whole cycle that can be avoided. What is what did you glean? What was the main reason that 80% weren't happy for? Was there a common denominator?
Yeah, there was a common denominator, and that was always the manager, the leader, or the toxic work environment. And it's not safe to speak up. And that's so important at the moment. And you might know, I mean, if you follow the trends, well-being at workplace is now really hype. You know, well-being needs to be is number one, which is looked for, searched for, desired for any employee searching and choosing their workplace. Because if you don't feel well, then you know what? 8-9 hours at the same place, it's going to be a torture. And that's what everyone needs to thrive for. It's a call out to employers, you know, it's a call out to companies to really create that safe environment. And if a manager is toxic, that needs to be addressed. They might need to be retrained or upskilled or maybe changed, you know, in severe, you know, situations.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, I know about sick building syndrome, you know, with all the technology, but the fact that even today we're still talking about bullying and toxic relationships from the manager downwards, that's still a little bit shocking, I think, that we're still having those conversations. So your book is supporting them. You're giving them a hack, really, aren't you? A quick way to strategize either your exit strategy to a better job, to a better company, or to change your perception and think about how can you improve your existing situation through your perception.
Absolutely, because it does not need to be like a huge change. It might be little responsibilities, raising your voice, asking for that, you know, maybe promotion that you're looking for, right? If you don't raise your voice, how would the manager know, for example? Also, you know, tips, tricks, how to raise your voice. Sometimes some people can't do that. And that's why I've got the Break Free from Your Hamster Wheel plus as well, the Drive and Thrive Your Career, because you're the one who steers the whole career. It's your career. It's no one else's career. It's not the manager's responsibilities, not the leader's responsibilities. The company can give you lots of workshops, tools, techniques. If you don't take them forward, there will be nothing. There will be no change. You are the one who's saying, I want to go straight. I want to go right. I want to go left. And sometimes there will be roadblocks. Yes, correct. You will see, oops, this is closed. You can't go further. You need to back off, change, and go to another direction. But never give up. Be determined, because determination is key to success. And sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it takes not so long and it's faster. It doesn't matter as long as you take one step at a time.
I think you've hit on an interesting point there, Hulya, because that's something else I remember from my recruitment days. And that is that most people don't really know how they got to where they are. It happened by accident. It happened through networking. It happened, you know, without a plan. So it's never too late to create a plan, is what you're saying.
Absolutely never. It's never too late for anything that you want to do in life. The worst would be that you regret that you have not tried. So try it. There's a lot of things in the book and in my accredited workshop, which Drive and Thrive Your Career is there, that you can take away and really implement. And then also with my assistance or for yourself as well, because it's self-explanatory. I made it on purpose easy, simple to understand. But again, sometimes we need to have someone else to interpret something, to give us another nudge. That's why I call my company InKick. It's like kicking and kick a bit to innovate yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Very clever. And for those who, you know, are so high up the greasy pole that they're just too busy to read your book, they can have laser focus coaching with you and just get the job done.
Absolutely. That's what I created specifically for business professionals, because I know everyone is busy and you have no time to go a lot of blah, blah and blee. And for 1 hour, you've got maybe one challenge you want to address in 15 minutes, provided you're prepared. You know what your goal is. You come to the session, we get it done. We really focus in it, dive into it. And after 15 minutes, you've got already 2-3 steps to move ahead with your challenge.
Yeah, excellent. Well, super exciting. And I think you've thrown down the gauntlet there. There's the challenge to everybody listening. If you're not happy, it's your choice. You don't have to be unhappy. You can have the life, whether it's professional or personal, you can have the life that you want. So apart from being able to contact you on the IAPC&M International Directory, where else can we find you, Hulya?
Absolutely. On social media, LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I believe in the power of LinkedIn, Instagram and Facebook. And of course, on my website, www.inkick.com.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. And I look forward to, at some point, interviewing you about your next book.
Thank you very much. Me too.
Thank you.
Thank you.